Disclaimer, this video is full of opinions, but also facts, because I'm right, objectively. Wizards. We've all dreamed about being one. I know you have. I've been in your head. We've all seen Harry Potter, we've all seen the movies like The Sorcerer's Apprentice. We've always wanted to be wizards. And if you're anything like me, you love wizards. I may have just found the greatest wizard game of all time. And it's in VR. I stumbled across this game a few years ago when I first bought my Oculus Quest 2, and now it has officially been released. The game is called Blade and Sorcery. It was developed by Warp Frog and released in October 28th of 2024. So it's been almost a full year since it's come out, which is great. Good for them. Happy almost 1 year, Warp Frog. Happy almost 1 year. Blade and Sorcery is a game where you create a customized character and you are transported into this little shack on the seaside. Now inside the shack you have a little book. Inside that book is armor, weapons, anything that you can summon through the game. Now by heading down to the seaside where you see a small boat, there is a billboard, sort of like a job board posting. On this job board are two modes, Sandbox and Survival. For Survival mode, you are transported to a map of your choosing. 3 pillars rise out of the ground, and at the beginning of each round, you choose a weapon. Now as the rounds go on, you start from a smaller, weaker weapon and enemy types to stronger and bigger weapons and enemy types. You survive as long as you can until you either die or you quit. Now Sandbox mode is where the magic happens. That's my favorite mode personally. Now in Sandbox mode, you can choose from any weapon, shield, armor, or magic type of your choosing. You can also spawn in enemy waves. Enemy types range from sorcerers to archers to swordsmen. I had a lot of fun playing this game when it first came out a few years ago in early access, but now that it's fully released, I have now found my favorite wizard game of all time. Now, why is it my favorite wizard game? Well, I have broken down what makes a good wizard game into 3 categories, and this game has fulfilled at least 2 of them. The first category is... Now obviously you cannot have a good wizard game without good magic, and luckily this game delivers on what a good magic spell is. Lightning, fire, and gravity. This game also lets you enhance your weapons with the magic. So if you have a sword or a staff, you can infuse it with fire, lightning, or gravity. My favorite combo to pull in this game is to infuse a staff with gravity. And what you could do with that is you could pick up, levitate people, throw them around, or you could smash them on the ground and create an anti-gravity field around you. I would always reserve one hand for the gravity staff and the other one for usually a fire-infused sword or a weapon of some kind. When enemies would attack me, I would pick them up, throw them against the wall, and save them for later after I'm done fighting the guy standing in front of me. Another fun thing to do would just be stand still, put lightning in my hand, and electrocute people to death. Another important aspect of wizard games is the... Now normally you wouldn't expect a wizard to do combat, but if you're a D&D nerd like I am, you would know that you have to save the spell slots for the big important moments, so you have to wind down with some action. Ow. Slash. 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 When you think of a wizard, you're usually expecting wands and spells and portals and cauldrons and stuff like that, which this game has some of those. But you have to wind down the magic with. But you don't want to get bored of the magic too quickly. Now this game offers a variety of weapons to use in combat. Blunt weapons, small swords, great swords, daggers, archery. You can fist fight or use your shields as a weapon sometimes if you want. This game also has some pretty funny physics, so when you're trying to chop a guy's head off, it just kind of jiggles around. And it's always really fun to just stab people right through the body. Just seep right through there. Uh-oh. So those are 2 of the aspects that I would consider a good wizard game. However, the third would be specifically spoken word and wand wavy spells. This game doesn't really dabble in that area. It's more infuse a weapon with an element and cast with that. I would like it if a wizard game utilized the microphone in the Oculus Quest, or whatever headset you're playing on, so that way you could say a word and it would make a command to make a spell happen. But unfortunately, this game does not have that. It doesn't really utilize hand motions to cast spells. I think that would be a very good addition to the game, but nonetheless, it's still very, very fun. This game also has a variety of maps and arenas, so you never get bored of where you're playing at and attacking people. Luckily for this game, it also has a large community of modders. Yes, so this game is definitely enhanced through mods, most of, I think all of which might be community made, which is amazing. And there are thousands upon thousands of different varieties of mods you can choose from. You can choose different weapon packs, skin packs, maps, different magic. You can even fight in... One of my favorite mods of this game is genuinely the Invincible War mod, because it adds a different enemy type of just different kinds of invincible. They're stronger than normal enemies, so that you can hit them harder and hit them more, and you can spawn multiple in at once, so when you get done with one, you can just kind of go on to the other ones as well. There are other mods like Homelander, Mjolnir, Minecraft weapons. I added an Old West map in there, different armors so I can wear Doctor Strange's cloak and the Flash's mask, a bunch of different magical abilities, Wolverine's claws, Knife Storm hand, you name it. Knife Storm! This game, like most games, is enhanced with mods. It makes it 1,000 times better, and that's what really puts it up top as my top favorite wizard game.
There we go. CRT? Yep. That was that. Thank you. Come here. Come here.
However, as with every other game in existence, there could be some polishing. It crashes occasionally with the mods. The physics could be a little bit better.
There's another one. Attack from above. I bat the head.
Maybe another game mode in there. I think there's also a story mode, but I haven't seen or played that ever, so I don't know what's going on with that. And of course, you could always add in spoken spells and hand maneuvers to summon or cast things. I think that would be a very, very good addition to this game.
I am Steve.
In conclusion, I give this game 8 Joker heads out of 10. There's definitely some room for improvement, but it is one of my top wizard games of all time, if not one of my top VR games of all time. I have not tried out any others, and I will probably do that at some point. But for now, it takes the crown as my favorite wizard game.
Hear it. Useless.
I hope you get to enjoy it at some point yourself. You just have to get your hands on a VR headset. So, good luck, soldier.